Strategic thinking is not about reacting to today's headlines, breaking news, or hot takes. It is meta-thinking. It is thinking about how you think. Most people operate on autopilot. When a new piece of news or data lands in front of them, they immediately run it through their existing worldview, filtered through their personal history and biases. They discard anything that feels dissonant, accept what confirms what they already believe, and move on. That is tactical reaction, not strategic thought. True strategic thinking happens outside that standard feedback loop. It requires asking foundational questions about your own perspective. How was your worldview constructed in the first place? What assumptions are you prioritizing, and why? What specific evidence or shifts would cause you to change your mind? Most importantly, does your current framework still make sense in light of how much the world has shifted over the last 10 or 20 years? The reality is that the world moves at a breakneck pace, yet most human beings update their worldviews far too slowly. Updating your framework on a continuous basis does not necessarily mean you were wrong in the past. It usually means that while your initial analysis was sound, the reality on the ground moved, and if your perspective remains static, you will eventually become wrong. Every analytical view decays over time unless you actively update it. Strategic thinking is the intentional habit of preventing that analytical decay. Great strategic thinkers share a distinct set of characteristics. They possess intense curiosity and profound intellectual openness. They do not fear being wrong, admitting a misstep, or discarding an outdated conclusion to move forward. They actively seek out perspectives that are radically different from their own, not out of a desire to debate or defeat them, but to understand them. Difference does not mean opposition or hostility. Where you were born, the language you grew up speaking, and the environment you were raised in give you a specific contextual lens. A person raised in a completely different part of the world holds a different set of reference points, but that does not make their perspective inherently villainous or wrong. Everyone is the hero of their own story, operating from their own legitimate context. Strategic thinkers look across those contexts to spot macro trends, recognize patterns, and anticipate trade-offs before they manifest. Building this cognitive capability requires disciplined practice. Much like starting a workout routine for the first time, exposing yourself to perspectives that challenge your deeply held beliefs feels uncomfortable and unnerving at first. The human brain naturally resists uncomfortable information. However, when you practice breaking down internal defensive barriers on a daily basis, it becomes second nature. Consider leaders who demonstrated this long-term perspective, like Nelson Mandela. True strategic leadership often requires setting aside immediate personal grievances or short-term desires for immediate justice in order to secure a stable, sustainable future. It means keeping values, ethics, and long-term human development at the forefront while navigating complex, high-stakes realities. To become a great strategic thinker, step back from daily noise. Train yourself to observe patterns across different domains. Question your core assumptions constantly. Embrace differing views with genuine curiosity, and adapt your mental models as the world evolves around you.